Your child is screaming, your head is pounding, and your patience is hanging by a thread. You know you should stay calm, but everything in you wants to yell, slam a door, and just walk away. You're not crazy. Every mother has that moment. We get overwhelmed with their emotions, and sometimes when our children melts down, so do we. The truth is, our emotions often mirrors theirs. We know they shouldn't, but they do. Let's not sugarcoat this. We're exhausted, overstimulated, and pulled in 100 directions. But I'm here to tell you it is possible to stay calm with the right tools. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to stay calm when you're triggered, how to calm your child during a meltdown, and even how to soothe them when they've gotten hurt. I don't have a long list, just 5 one-minute habits, but I know for a fact that they work because I do all of them, and I'm confident that you'll find something in this list that will work for you, if not all of them. I am certain of it. If you're new here, my name is Julie, and I help Christian wives who feel worn out in their homemaking, motherhood, or even marriages to become joyful, free, and whole again, even if your circumstances don't change. If any of these resonated with you, I would love if you could press that like and subscribe button to join this community. I'm going to start with the one that works the best, the most powerful habit I use when things get intense. But please watch until the end because every single one of these habits has the power to change how you respond in the hardest moments. Okay, the first one is what to do when your child is having a full-on meltdown about something. Kids are not born a blank slate. From the moment they enter this world, they come with a unique God-given personality. There's a core inside of them, a temperament and a wiring that's completely their own. And as moms, we need to remember, not everything our kids do is a reflection of us. I'm naturally a patient person. If something is difficult, I can sit with it for hours, thinking it through, trying to solve it calmly. But my son is wired differently. When he was about 3 years old, anytime he tried something and couldn't get it right, whether it was building something, figuring out a toy, or trying to open something, he would get so frustrated. I'm talking full-on meltdowns, not just a few tears, but intense emotion. And no matter how calm I stayed or how gently I tried to talk him through it, nothing helped. What I eventually learned and what truly changed everything was that the only thing that helped was simply changing his environment. And it takes less than 1 minute. I would pick him up, even if he was still screaming or kicking, and I would carry him into another room. I wouldn't talk to him, I wouldn't explain anything to him, I would just carry him to the other room in silence. By the time we got there, 9 out of 10 times he had already started to calm down. If not, I would wait for a short while and just sit with him. When the moment passed, I could finally talk to him in a way that he could actually receive and hear it. Here's why this works. When a child is emotionally overwhelmed, their brains is flooded. They're not able to process logic, language, or correction. But when you change their physical environment, even just moving to another room, it gives their mind a moment to reset. It's a mental pattern interrupt. The new surroundings create a distraction. It pulls their nervous system out of fight or flight and gives them space to breathe. And it's not just for them, it helps you too. That 60 seconds gives you time to collect your thoughts. It gives you space to calm your own reaction, say a quick prayer, and choose how you want to show up in that moment. And if you're realizing that you need more support staying calm, not just in the moment, but throughout the day, I want to invite you to my free webinar where I give you 5 powerful tools to help you calm down your nervous system, slow down, and release the burdens that you've been silently carrying. Those invisible pressures you may not even realize you've placed upon yourself. These tools have helped me shift out of survival mode and become a more peaceful, present mom. You can find the link in the description down below. I'd love for you to watch it. So, just the other day, I was visiting a friend, and her child kept pushing my son's buttons until he finally snapped. He was so upset and he was crying, and I could feel my own stress rising. I looked at my friend and I said, "Just give me 1 minute." So, I picked him up, walked out of the room, and softly whispered in his ear while walking around. That little break, just 1 minute, was all he needed to feel safe again, and it gave me a chance to stay calm too. It doesn't matter where you are, in your home, at someone else's house, in a store, you always have the option to take 1 minute, step away, and help your child regulate. That small pause makes a big difference. A change of environment, that mental pattern interrupt, it often leads to change in behavior, and sometimes that's all it takes to bring peace back into the moment. Not just for him, but for you too. The next one is simple but so powerful. It's just a hug. When I feel the pressure building, when my patience has completely left me and my child has been triggering me all day long, this is what I do to stop myself from snapping. I kneel down, I look my son in the eyes, and I ask him, "Can I have a hug?" And I'll be honest, sometimes I don't catch myself in time. Sometimes I do lose it. I raise my voice and I do react in the way that I know I shouldn't. But as soon as I realize it, I pause, I kneel down, and I ask for that hug anyway. I linger there for a few seconds and sometimes even longer because that moment, that hug, that physical connection gives me just enough space to breathe, to think, and to gather myself and my thoughts before I respond again. It's a reset button for both of us. It softened the tension between us that has been building all day. And if I did lash out, I always start the conversation with an apology. If I did not, I go straight into gently talking about what just happened. And there have been moments in the past where I've knelt down to ask for a hug, and as soon as my son leaned into me, he just burst into tears, crying nonstop. That's when I realized he was at breaking point too. We were both carrying so much. It's not just me that had built up emotions, but him too. And that hug just releases what words cannot. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can offer our children isn't correction, but it's simply just compassion. And here's something we don't always think about. When we stand in front of our kids, we are much taller than them. We have an emotional aura that they definitely can feel, and it's intimidating, even if we are mothers. But when we lower ourselves, literally, when we kneel down and embrace them, it shifts the power dynamic. They immediately feel safer. So never underestimate the power of love, especially when it's wrapped in a hug. The next one is sometimes we all just need a moment, a pause and a break. There have been moments in my motherhood journey where I knew I simply couldn't deal with my little one in that moment. And to be honest, this was before I discovered the power of asking for a hug. Back then, when I felt that edge rising in me, when I knew I was about to snap, I started doing something really simple. I would walk away just for 1 moment. And I realized my child wouldn't break if he kept crying for 60 more seconds. But I might break and react wrongly if I didn't take that minute to breathe. And that moment of stepping away, it changed everything. As moms, we're wired to fix everything. If our kid is having a meltdown, we want to swoop in and make it all better. But I learned the hard way that if I'm a mess, it's not helping anybody. I'm just adding my chaos to their chaos, and that's a recipe for a bigger meltdown. So instead of reacting, I would walk away, step into another room, and I would take a deep breath. And I'd pray, asking the Lord to help me be calm and to react with kindness. I'd ask for strength to help me to guide him through his emotions. And only then, after I calmed myself, would I step back in and help him through his emotions. And you know what? It worked better every time. Because when we approach our children with peace instead of panic, they feel it and they mirror it. So if you're at your breaking point, feeling like you're about to lose it, hear me out. It's okay to take a minute. You're not bailing on your kid. You're giving yourself a chance to show up as the mom you want to be. And trust me, that's one of the best things you can do for both of you. Okay, so moving on to the next one. You know how it is when your kids take a tumble. Your heart just leaps and all you want to do is scoop them up and make it all better. That's what I used to do every time my son got hurt. I pulled him close, hug him tight, and soothe him until the tears stop. It's that mom instinct, right? I'm not the only one. It's warm, it's comforting, and it works. But then I noticed my husband doing something different, and I've got to say, it's kind of brilliant. When our son gets a scrape or a bump, instead of just cuddling him, my hubby would sit him down and say something like, "All right, buddy, let's check you out. Anything broken?" If he scraped or bumped his arm, he'll start with his fingers, gently wiggling each one, asking, "Does this hurt?" Then he moved to the palm, the wrist, and up the arm, constantly asking him if it hurts and doing this slowly and calmly. What's so cool about this is that it doesn't brush off the pain or try to distract him with some goofy joke or, "Hey, look at that." It's more like, "I see you're hurting. Let's figure this out together." It gives my son something to focus on, and you can almost see his brain shift gears. Instead of zeroing in on the one spot that stings, he starts thinking, "Okay, does this part actually hurt that my dad is holding in his hand? Is my fingers actually hurting? Is my wrist sore?" So that focus really shifts from that bump or sting to different parts of his body. It really helps him to just calm down. Now, I'm still a mom, so I don't skip the cuddles entirely. I give him a big hug first, let him feel safe, but then I borrow my husband's method. I'll start gently checking the sore spot with him, talking through it like, "Okay, let's see what's going on here. Does this feel okay?" And you know what? 9 times out of 10, within a minute, he's back on his feet and just ready to run around again. So, next time your kids get banged up, try this. Don't rush to change the subject or make it go away. Just be there, slow and steady. It takes 1 minute to guide them through it. You'll be amazed at how fast they feel better. Now, the next habit is a bit more relaxed, but it's still incredibly powerful. There are mornings when my son wakes up just grumpy. No real reason, nothing dramatic, just in a mood. And what used to frustrate me the most was that I try so hard to be kind, sweet, and encouraging, but no amount of gentle words or patient tone seemed to reach him. So one day I stopped trying to talk him out of it, and I just started being completely silly. I just started singing about random things, what we're eating, what we're wearing, what we're doing, and I'd throw in the silliest dance moves I could think of, and he would burst out laughing every single time, and I would start to laugh too. What began as a way to cheer him up became something that lifted my own mood as well. Sometimes as moms, we need to give ourselves permission to just be silly, to just be in the moment, because play is a release. But I do want to say this habit isn't for meltdown moments. Those need something different that I mentioned before. But for those low energy, grumpy days when your child just wakes up on the wrong side of everything, this is magic. So next time your kiddo is grumpy, don't stress. Bring the dance moves. You might be surprised how quickly the move shifts from both of you. And I just want to add that me and my husband had been talking for years, even before we had a child, about how we would raise them one day if we had any. In those early years of marriage, we made a real effort to have those conversations. We paid attention to families we admired, especially parents whose children were good-mannered and who had good behavior. We would ask questions, listen carefully, and take mental notes. So when we became parents, we didn't go into it passively. We chose to be intentional. We decided that we're not just going to react to every meltdown and every tantrum. We were going to work as a team to guide him through those moments. And let me tell you, When you and your husband are united in this, when you're both committed to helping your child through their emotions instead of punishing them for having them, it makes such a big change. You'll be amazed at how much calmer your child becomes because they feel safe, understood, and supported by both of their parents. So if this video resonated with you and you're feeling that tug in your heart that says, I want more peace in my home, I want to stay calm, not just in theory, but in real life, then I want to invite you again to my free webinar. In this webinar, I'm going to teach you 5 tools that will help you calm your nervous system, slow down your pace, and throw off those heavy emotional burdens you may not even realize you've been carrying. You can find the link in the description down below. Thank you for watching the video, and remember, you are not failing. You are growing as a mother and you're doing better than you think.